Hi. We'll discuss about the books. Those are important for your interview preparation. So, if you are actually looking for a backend interview, or maybe in upcoming, not a month, but let's suppose 3, 4 months or 6 months, you have time, right? And after 6 months, you have suppose a backend interview. What all books you should be aware of? What all the books that will help you to actually crack those interviews. And not just about the bugs that will help you to cracking the interviews, but being a good software engineer or developer, right? You need those particular kind of knowledge when you are in industry. So I'll start with books, which is actually personally my favorite. So first is like your best cracking the coding interview. So this is one which based on little bit if you do lead code and if you do another kind of competitive data structure questions, then this is little bit similar to that, but this is my personal favorite. So you will have like 180 190 around questions here that you practice on every topic. The best part is it has all these theories before actually jumping into the question. So for every concept you will have a theory, right? So, plus this book is all about how you can approach a problem given that particular scenario. Maybe you can first go to brute force and then try to optimize your solution. Then, in the optimized solution, what is the space and time complexity? If further you can optimize that. So, all this thing is there in this particular book. So, this the cracking the coding interview, this for the data structure part. You can do it around like 2 questions a day or maybe 3 questions a day. So it will hardly take maybe 2 3 months to complete it. So based on your pace, you can pick this book. The next one comes as the system design part, right? Most of the people are new to system design. Maybe they have not done in your current job, right? So it's about this basic one, which is by Alex Yu, System Design Interview. What you can do here is actually start reading it, maybe a chapter a day, and it starts with some concept like load balancing, consistency hashing, right? Microservices, how you can scale it, scale down, right? Those patterns are here, and then the best part is how you can approach to a system design problem, what is the functional non-functional requirements, right? Those kind of things will be there into this book. So it has around a good number of chapters, good number of areas that it should cover, right? And it should be good for a start. There's one more part of this particular book is volume 2, same system design interview, that is volume 2. It has more generalized question that being asked in the industry, and there's also best, I mean there's just a version upgrade of that particular book. You might find certain problems which are matching with the previous book, but it's good to read this one as well. So I mean there's best two tools for your system design around. uh, Maybe high level, low level. Low level, actually there's more about high level. Low level you can practice more on it has certain machine coding around as well, so based on that. The next part we have is your design patterns, at first design pattern. So I'm a big fan of O'Reilly, right? So I have all the books down here in this Almira. So next lecture or maybe in the next meetup, we can talk about more how to advance your career as a software developer, what books are necessary and will be good to have once you landed a job. Now it's not a piece of interview, but to be a better developer. So those things we can cover in the next series of this. But right now it's more about the interview. So it's the design patterns. Mostly deals how you design your system whenever is a coding thing or maybe a low level design. What all type of design patterns you can use it to make your code more modular, configurable, right? And There are a lot of interview questions based on design patterns when it comes to low level design. So, what they actually generally see is how you are writing the code, how you are designing your system, the layered programming, and then what other design patterns you use about it. So, just this is the best one for that. Go about it. Next, we have is building microservices. So, this many people don't recommend for interview because there is no general concept of interview in this book, but this is mostly about how you design a microservice architecture, or maybe in your existing company, if you have monolith, how you can move it to microservices, what are types of microservice architecture, right? What are the pros and cons, what are the trade-offs that will be needed, right, when once you are actually designing the system. So internally, it will clear out a lot of concepts of you. Maybe you just know what is a microservice, right? And you just know vertical scaling or horizontal scaling. But at the end, you don't know the internal about it, right? It might be a reason. So if you just go about this book, and you will be clear out every concept of microservice architecture and how it actually works. Maybe some of this scenarios microservices not that good option, right? It's not just blindly it's a good option. This book covers it all. So just read about this as well. We have one more, and which is my personal favorite, is designing data intensive applications. So this I'm a huge fan of this book. So this is actually generally talks about how you design an application that is huge on data. So if you talk about current applications and in the current scenario, it's all about data, right? I mean, gone are those days where storing data was mostly costly and people were not doing that. But right now, the storage is available in very cheap format, right? So most of the applications are data heavy, right? So if you go about this book, it talks everything about data, how you can design, what is SQL, what is NoSQL, how you can scale it, sharding, partition, right, consistency, cap, that is the most known factor. So it's all about data, and it's a very must. If you've gone through this book, there were so many internal concepts. Maybe if interviewer asks you, you will be able to answer it. That's all. We have more books to talk about. Maybe they are better for interview as well. But what I've shared is I mean, for people who might have a little bit more less time, because going through these books will take some time. So maybe a year gradually it should take it. But maybe if you have 6 7 months of time, you can cover up 2 chapters a day, and then you can just go for your interviews. Mainly if you have less than even 6 months of time, let's suppose 2 3 months, then I would suggest just go with cracking the coding interview and this two system design books, volume 1 and volume 2. And meantime, you can just read about building microservices and data intensive applications once you have your interviews done. So watch it, just read it once and watch out where all it's available. It's basically easily available on Flipkart and Amazon. And in the next series of this video, we can talk about more such books which will be helpful to be a better engineer. Those are not about cracking the interview. Obviously, those will teach you a concept which can be helpful to crack an interview, but that will be more on inclined on to be a better software developer. Yeah, see you. Thanks.